Here's Sheryl Crow, who you have like 9 Grammy Awards, I don't know, a Globe or 2, you know, Globe Award or 2, American Music, People's Choice. You've sold how many millions of records, probably?
17 zillion, I think.
Something like that.
As my kid says, 11 million.
11 million.
Enough to buy a beautiful bus out the parking lot.
Oh, if only it were mine.
Or probably like your own island or something.
No, we're not as cool as Faith and Tim.
Well, how come you're not just enjoying the fruits of all your labor and out there on a tropical island? What are you doing, you know, out there deciding to make country music after all these great things? You don't even have to do this if you don't want to.
Well, you know what? It's the thing that I love the most outside of my kids who actually are with me on this trip. And I love it. You know, and it's funny because all my friends, we all listen to country music. It's where you hear songs. It's where you hear guitar solos. And that's where I've lived for the last 20 years is writing songs that were just songs and that had, you know, twangy guitars. And it's great that there's a format that plays songs. And so I feel really privileged to be getting played at country radio. And I feel like it, after living in Nashville for the last 8 years, it feels great. It's so nice that so many country artists have embraced me just in town personally.
Yeah.
That's great. It's almost as if your music didn't really change. It's that we came to you. You didn't really come to us, kind of like Darius Rucker did, you know, a few years ago.
Oh, that is so nice to hear. I mean, I love the idea of it. You know, if that were true, that would be amazing. But there's just been so much great country music from the very beginning. It's just now there are a lot of different kinds of country music, and I've always sort of loved the middle American kind of, you know, kind of redneck country, because I'm coming from a really small town in Missouri that, you know, is has its roots deeply planted in country, and we're kind of rednecky, which we
I would never guess that about you. What's the most redneck thing about you? Come on, confess, because I would never guess this about you.
Know, we used to say, oh my God, we're so redneck, because every summer, and I grew up on a pontoon boat, every summer, every weekend, skiing on paddles, barefoot skiing.
There you go.
Eating potted meats.
No. Come on.
Eating pork rinds.
Knocking it out of the park.
Drinking Bud Light.
She's one of us. She fits right in.
Pork rinds and Bud Light.
All right, so you qualify as redneck then.
You're in.
You're in. You're in.
Exactly.
I guess the Jeff Foxworthy thing, you know, you would be a redneck if whatever.
You ate pork rinds and potted meat.
So you've been working with, right, for the new album?
Yeah, Zach Brown is on the record, and Brad Paisley. Actually, Brad, who is on my record, was the person that came to me after I sang with Loretta and Miranda and said, when are you finally going to make a country record? You need to come home. And I just, you know, I was blown away. And I told him, I said, I would really love to do that. But the format is sacred to me, the fan base, that the loyalty that country music fans show. I wanted people to know that it's, you know, it was more than just my moving into town to sound making a country record. And I told him, I said, you know, I feel like the kind of country music that I love, and I would love to make, you know, might even be too country. And there is some very country stuff on the record, which is a throwback to the stuff that I love the most, Carter Family and Jimmy Rogers, and even some Loretta-sounding stuff. We released a song called Woman in the White House that's on iTunes that won't be on the record, and we released it before the election, just for fun, because it seemed like it got really serious before the election and kind of vitriolic, and we thought, well, this is kind of fun, and it's very Loretta. So, but Brad was great. You know, he was kind of like my, you know, he's kind of like the proud dad. He just wanted me to kind of to be who I was on the record, and he felt certain that if I was doing what I love the most, that it would fit right in. So
do you sit around Nashville? I have to ask this. Do you sit around Nashville and, like, you guys all just hang out and play music on the weekends if you're ever there?
Can I tell
do you have, like, the stars over your house?
I have a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. If they sat around ever, I'd be so happy. I feel like I never, ever sit. But I have a great bunch of girlfriends who all have kids my age.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's great. And one of them actually is Brad's wife, and his 2 kids, Huck and Jasper, and my 2 kids, Wyatt and Levi, are someday going to have a very famous country band. We're
yeah, they
are. Those
are.
Names.
Yeah.
How can they not? So
that's perfect. And your kids are on the road with you, right?
They
with this
are.
Radio tour and stuff.
Yeah,
so are they liking that?
They have grown up on tour buses. I mean, my 2-year-old, I took. He was 2 weeks old when he went out.
Wow.
You know, when you adopt kids, you're not really sure exactly when they're coming, and he was definitely a surprise. My first one. I made detours when he was 3 months old, and we went out, you know, when he was 5 or 6 months, and he learned to walk on the tour bus. And
wow!
So they love it. I mean, now it's different than it used to be. It's not diapers and bottles now; it's Legos and Kid Monopoly and stuff like that. They're great. They're great kids, and they're used to it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to country music. If no one
Thank
said that, and I'm
you.
sure you've already heard that anyway from Brad Paisley or Zach Brown or whoever. But welcome, and we are
Thank
so
you.
excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm
Welcome.
thrilled to be here. I feel like I'm surrounded by great people in this format.